Minecraft doesn't need you.
Minecraft is a game of enormous creativity. The world is a canvas, the blocks are the paint, and the player is the artist.
Except all I do is speedrun the game.
Yet the Minecraft world is not static. Even as the player does nothing, things happen in the world. Sheep eat grass, mobs spawn and die. Lightning strikes the earth and trees burn. Random events occur even without the player. The canvas has a life of its own. But what if there never was a player? What would happen if we let the Minecraft world run forever by itself? Random movements and events, unencumbered by the will of a human being controlling an avatar. Could anything interesting ever happen? Let's consider such a world. We won't worry about the obvious practical limitations of infinite time, such as processing power or memory concerns. We'll also assume that this is an environment where chunks are loaded, such as on a server. With that, the stage is set. We now boot up our world, and we watch.
Something about this is eerily creepy. I think the fact that it's like it's a video game, but things in the video game are technically alive, and it's a computer. It feels different than AI. I don't know how to explain it. Something about this is creepy. It's also the music in the background.
To begin, there's really not much to see. Animals walk around, villagers go about their routines,
It's weird.
Mobs spawn during the nighttime. The world is as we expect. Everything that we see is apparently no different to an average gameplay session. However, despite this mundanity, there's one important result worth mentioning. With infinite time, mobs that move around could eventually move to whichever block we want. It doesn't matter how far away this block is, all that matters is that they have a path to it. Since mobs take random paths, their movement is predicated on a random number generator. If we generate enough times, we'll eventually get the correct sequence for wherever we want these mobs to go. Do we want to get a creeper on top of a jungle temple? Do we want a husk on a mountaintop? By rolling the dice enough times, this will eventually happen. Remember, time is not a problem here. We're not
Okay.
looking at what's likely. With an infinite amount of time, that doesn't matter. Instead, we're looking at what is possible. A skeleton taking a trek across the world to a certain block is possible, assuming it can find a path. In fact, we could have a group of 3 baby zombies on chickens travel from one world border to the other. Is this likely? Not even close, but it could eventually happen, and that's the key to this entire experiment. Yet,
So technically, isn't anything possible then?
mobs moving around don't really do much. Sure, it's cool, but is it really interesting? Not so much. However, there is another mob that can do something that's much more unique than simply getting to faraway lands. This mob is going to prove to be one of the crucial building blocks for what we're going to do in this video.
Let me guess, it's the Enderman, and it's because you can pick up blocks.
I am, of course, talking about the Endermen. Endermen are atypical in many ways.
What did I
They're
say?
allergic to water, they show up in all 3 dimensions, and they can teleport. But all of this pales in comparison to their
Pre-watch.
most powerful ability. They can randomly pick up and place certain types of blocks.
What did I say,
In a normal
chat?
game of Minecraft, this is a minor annoyance. But have you ever played long enough on a world that there are many blocks that have been moved by Endermen? Seemingly wherever you go, you find random grass blocks, and at some point it starts to become a little bit annoying. Well, in our infinite time system, the Enderman could do exactly the same thing. However, we have so much time available that the Enderman could eventually construct almost arbitrary structures. The Enderman could randomly choose to make a pillar,
That's kind of that's kind of scary.
construct almost arbitrary structures. The Enderman could
Endermen do this in Minecraft? They can make pillars?
randomly choose to make a pillar, construct patterns, or spell out text. They can also remove blocks and build using negative space.
But I think he's saying if, like, theoretically Endermen could do this. Theoretically. Like, they're not going to actually do this.
Build using negative space. Their teleportation capabilities allow them to go through walls, assuming that there's a place for them to land. They'll look for open spots 32 blocks along each axis. This means that they can move vertically up or down into caves. As a result, the Endermen are able to get to a very broad range of locations. There are some limitations to the Endermen though. While they can dig a little ways down, they'll eventually hit stone. They cannot pick up stone blocks, so it effectively prevents them from further progress. They can also only place blocks on top of existing blocks. This means that there are certain structures that are not possible for the Endermen to construct, such as a bridge across the ocean. To do this would require the ability to place blocks on the side, which they cannot do. Nonetheless, the Endermen are capable of creating some very powerful things. For
Like?
example, it's possible for an Enderman to make a snow golem. All they need to do
Really?
is pick up a carved pumpkin from a pillager outpost, move to a snowy biome with 2 snow blocks already stacked, and then place the pumpkin. And boom.
Has an Enderman actually built that before though?
And boom, just like that, a natural snow golem has been produced. Our new snow golem possesses the same traits as other mobs. It can move to wherever we want it to go, so long as there's a path. Yet the snow golem unlocks a new and powerful ability. They're aggressive towards hostile mobs. In fact, they will actively seek them out and throw snowballs. While the snow golem can't damage most mobs, it does make them angry, and they'll retaliate by attacking the golem. It may not seem like much, but we've just discovered another powerful capability: arrows. If a snow golem attacks a skeleton, the skeleton might fire an arrow and miss. A normal arrow isn't that useful, but skeletons can spawn with enchanted equipment.
True.
If a skeleton has a flame bow, then it can fire a flaming arrow when it's annoyed by a snow golem. A flaming arrow will not light a block on fire, but what it can do is activate TNT.
Wait, okay. At the end of this video, is he gonna calculate the chances of this ever happening in an inactive world where there's no user? Because this is insane.
Remember, Endermen can pick up and place TNT blocks. So if we can discover a way for an Enderman to find TNT, then we'll open up a new capability in our infinite world. It is very rare that TNT blocks are naturally generated. The first place to look is in a desert pyramid.
Yes.
While an Enderman can
Desert
teleport to their
temple,
base,
technically.
unfortunately there's no way for it to pick up the TNT. It's hidden beneath a layer of sandstone, a block that the Endermen are powerless to move. But there is one other place in the world where TNT blocks can be
Woodland
generated.
Mansion.
There's a secret room in Woodland Mansions that looks like the End Portal. Within this room, there are 2 TNT blocks
Really?
sitting out in the open.
I don't remember this.
The Endermen can get here by teleporting, and they can pick up and move these blocks. Once placed, a snow golem can find its way to the block, anger a skeleton with a flame bow, and have the skeleton miss and hit the TNT.
That's crazy.
This blows the door of possibilities wide open.
Okay, so what can this do?
We can now produce an explosion almost at will. All we need to do is have this formula occur at the right location. Again, the odds of this are astronomically low. Woodland Mansions are rare, and the room is even more so. But what matters is that it's possible. It can and will happen with enough time. However, there's a much simpler way to create explosions. If a snow golem attacks a creeper, then the creeper will retaliate and blow up. This is substantially more likely than the TNT trick. The major disadvantage to creepers is that explosions cannot be easily stockpiled ahead of time, a trait we will need later on. Regardless of which option we use, our capability for explosions allows the Enderman to dig below the surface.
How far are we gonna go with this? I'm getting trapped in this theoretical right now.
It can create a path to almost any underground location. In terms of underground destinations, there is one that sticks out above the rest: the Stronghold.
The Stronghold.
That's right, the Enderman can use explosions to make a path to the Stronghold, and more specifically the Portal Room. Now, most portal rooms will not be lit by default.
Bro, you're telling me an Enderman's gonna do all that? Bring that many snow golems and then that many creepers, dig it and find the Stronghold?
The player's intended to find Eyes of Ender and place them. But there's a 1 in a trillion chance that the frame will be completely filled. And if we happen to be on one of these seeds, then the Enderman will have just created a path from the surface down to the end.
And it has to be a seed where the portal is full too.
There are several useful consequences of this. First, Endermen can take blocks from the overworld to the end. They keep holding them even as they pass through a portal. Furthermore, other mobs can wander their way to the end alongside the Enderman. The portal is a one-way ticket, so whatever enters won't be able to leave. But we can get almost any overworld land-based mob into the end naturally. Anything that shows up in the end is going to find itself face-to-face with the Ender Dragon. And we're presented with a question. Is it possible for these mobs to somehow defeat the dragon?
Oh my god, no,
The
come
first
on,
step
there's
is
no
to
way.
destroy the regenerating end crystals on the pillars.
Technically, yeah, right? If the Enderman...
Enderman can
They build a platform all the way up there, bring snow golems, bring Okay, brother.
come from the overworld and build huge staircases. Then it's time for our favorite duo. The snow golem angers the skeleton, and the skeleton fires an arrow that misses and destroys the end crystal.
Bro, stop! Dude, okay. Okay, man.
Repeat this for each pillar, and we've now got a dragon that doesn't regenerate. The next move is to find a way to inflict damage on the dragon. We're gonna steal a trick from the speedrunning community and take care of it using explosions. Remember, we can place TNT and light it. All we need to do is have enough Endermen bring TNT from the overworld, and the snow golems and flamebow skeletons will light it off.
Dude, this wouldn't take centuries. This would take light years to happen, bro. I don't even know.
Slowly but surely, the dragon will take damage. and eventually it will be defeated. Think about just how absurd this is. With the right random numbers, it is possible for the Ender Dragon, the final boss of Minecraft, to die with no player intervention whatsoever. Will this ever happen? No, but the fact that it could happen is amazing.
It could never, the chances are never zero. They're never zero.
It's all just random decisions by the mobs, but if the decisions happen to align in a perfect way, these mobs can complete the main story of Minecraft. The Endermen, with a few allies, have freed themselves from the Ender Dragon. Who needs some outside player? But this is just the beginning. What else can these mobs do? To start, it's possible to drop the dragon egg as an item. All that needs to happen is one additional explosion. When it touches the egg, it drops and falls into the portal.
Yeah.
Then a fox in the overworld can pick it up. Is this useful? Not really, but look at it. It's a fox with a dragon egg.
I like it. I like it.
Is there any way to get off the main island? As we mentioned earlier, it's not possible for the Endermen to build a bridge over empty space, as they cannot place blocks on the side of other blocks. They also can't get through the end gateway since there's only one open block of vertical space. For now, it doesn't appear to be possible to get Endermen holding overworld blocks off the main island. So what else could we do in the overworld? It turns out that explosions are useful for another purpose, destroying chests. This lets certain loot items exist on the ground. One item that may be of use are Frostwalker boots. When equipped, these boots allow the user to walk across water.
So mobs can wear
creating
these,
ice
like
blocks.
zombies could wear these?
To make it more interesting, there are some zombies and skeletons that spawn with the capability to equip armor. If a zombie picked up a pair of Frostwalker boots, then it would have gained the ability to place blocks on water, albeit temporarily. Let's say that this happens and the zombie walks its way over to an ocean monument. It can bring several Endermen with it, each holding sand. They can then place their sand.
Don't tell me that the Enderman can clear an ocean monument with sand. Don't tell me, bro.
And on top of the ice. The ice will eventually melt and the sand will fall into the ocean below. If this is repeated enough times, they can create a sand pillar from the ocean floor to the surface. Eventually, they...
Brother, do you know how hard? Dude, I had to do that shit in the Mr. Beast box, bro. These Endermen are not doing that, bro. Oh my god.
They could completely bury a monument in sand. There would no longer be any water source blocks outside the monument. Then the Enderman could remove the sand blocks one by one, effectively draining the monument.
Okay, I mean, technically, yeah, there could... Okay, it could happen.
Some well-placed explosions would give access to the interior, which could be...
He's dead serious too? Okay, the thing is, I feel like some like 10-year-old kids gonna watch this, not realizing that this is never gonna happen. But you're like, oh my god, some YouTuber found out that this happened in this world. No way. The chances are never zero. Okay, theoretically, in like literally a million years, this could maybe happen.
Be drained by repeating the same method. Finally, the Enderman could finish off the Elder Guardians with even more TNT explosions. That's right, a monument could be defeated naturally. Oh, but we are not done just yet. There's another major challenge that we now must tackle, lighting another portal.
Okay,
Now,
how they
this
gonna
one
do that?
relies on a specific type of world generation occurring. I should mention here that I'm not 100% certain if it could happen, so if there are any generation experts watching this video, I'd appreciate the input. Anyways, ruined portals are generated randomly throughout the overworld, and they're an incomplete version of a portal. There are several possible configurations.
Technically, there could be a configuration where the Enderman could complete the portal. That could make sense.
One of them is particularly useful. Ruined portal number 6 is almost complete,
Yeah.
save for one missing block in the
And
top.
Enderman can move
If we
obsidian,
can
right? Or
find a
no?
way to get obsidian onto this block, then we will have completed the structure of the frame. Usually when a portal generates, it replaces the blocks in the immediate area, placing the portal in a small cave. But that isn't true when the portal generates in a desert.
I don't think
Instead,
Enderman can move
the portal is
obsidian.
buried in the landscape. What needs to be generated is a ruined portal with no crying obsidian buried in the sand with a lava pool directly intersecting the top
Because
layer.
they can put water,
This will
huh?
give us a ruined portal that is nearly complete, but with a lava source block in the final slot. If this were to occur, then the Enderman could build an aqueduct from a nearby water source and freeze the lava into obsidian.
That wouldn't work though, because it would be flowing water. Am I tripping, chat? That wouldn't work though, because it'd be. Would it work?
Next, the Enderman can close the aqueduct and clear up any cobble, probably using explosions. We now have a completed portal frame, but how can it be lit? Flame arrows do not work,
Wait, chat. That wouldn't work. It would just make cobblestone. No, it wouldn't be turned into obsidian. It would turn into cobblestone. It would need to be a source water block.
so our TNT strategy is off the table. Lighting this is actually quite tricky. The obvious idea to try is lightning. On hard mode, a lightning strike will affect adjacent blocks, so a strike
This
right
video is
next
very
to the
dumb.
portal will light it. Remember though, our portal is in the desert. Since there's no rain in the desert, lightning will not strike. What about a drowned with a channeling trident? Unfortunately, as of 1.18.1, enchantments on a drowned trident don't work. Maybe this is a bug, but for now we're going to need to find another way. Could the Enderman make a path of flammable blocks and lead fire from a lightning
that's
strike
insane.
elsewhere? Nope, the Enderman cannot pick up most flammable blocks.
Okay.
However, the Enderman can pick up TNT. TNT
So what's
is
the
a
plan
bizarre
here?
block. While it is flammable, it doesn't appear to be as useful because fire causes it to explode. Or so we would think. In a strange twist, fire can sometimes spread to it without immediately activating the explosion.
Really?
So what needs to occur is the following. A TNT block must be placed adjacent to the portal. Then a nearby
It catches
heat source
fire.
must light it in such a way that it doesn't explode immediately and instead lights the portal. Then the Enderman must quickly move it out of the way before it does explode and
The Enderman must quickly move it out of the way.
undo all the hard work. It's an extremely precise sequence of events that must occur in a world with specific generation. But if all of that were to happen, we would find ourselves with a lit nether portal generated naturally.
I feel like by the time the Enderman would pick up the TNT, it wouldn't have enough time to get away fast enough to blow up the portal.
That's right, our randomly moving mobs have managed to create a connection between all three dimensions.
That's right.
Unfortunately, there isn't much to do in the nether. It's not possible to construct a wither, since Enderman cannot pick up and place wither skeletons.
Damn,
stairs.
no wither
What
chat.
we can do, however, is bring nether mobs to the surface. While many mobs avoid nether portals, through entity cramming it should be possible to force them through if need be. A baby hoglin that goes through a nether portal will turn into a baby zoglin. The baby zoglin could find its way to the end portal. Since baby zoglins are
The baby Zoglins can then go to the end and get Elytra and start flying in Minecraft.
less than 1 block high, it means that they can get into an end gateway. The Enderman will build a staircase, and they will stay far enough away. Our baby Zoglin can work its way up to the gateway and enter. These gateways can sometimes lead to locations directly above end ships. If this were to be the case, then the Zoglin would fall out of the portal and land onto a ship. As it moved around, it would eventually make its way inside the ship, where it would meet a shulker. Despite it being a baby, it would still attack the shulker.
I love how they always say will. Literally, this will happen. This is going to happen.
The shulker would eventually be killed, if not by a single Zoglin, then by a few of them working together. So that's nice, but what about that Elytra? Is there any way to get it off the wall? A snowball would do it, and so would an arrow, but remember, snow golems and skeletons are too tall to fit in the end gateway.
If this Elytra somehow comes off and it's given to like a zombie or something, there's a flying zombie in this game, I swear to God.
However, there is a way to get a skeleton jockey into the gateway. If it's hit by a snowball, such as from a snow golem, then it can be pushed into the gateway and teleport, despite being too tall. Our jockey will land on the end ship and head down into the Elytra room. The fiery Zoglin will attack the jockey, and the skeleton will retaliate, firing arrows.
And he'll miss an
A poorly
arrow and
placed
hit the
arrow will
Elytra.
hit the item frame, dropping the Elytra on the
Bro, what is the... Whatever, this is making me angry. This is making me angry.
ground. Once the fighting is done, a fox from the overworld will find its way into the end, come to the ship, and pick up the Elytra.
Yeah,
it can't
absolutely.
use it, of course.
And then it'll go back to the overworld, somehow die, zombie will pick it up, and zombie will wear it and start flying.
But the game is as close as it can get to enjoying one of the great rewards for killing the dragon. We killed the dragon, picked up an Elytra, defeated an ocean monument, all completely naturally. Obviously, this video is a thought experiment more than anything. The odds of things happening in these specific orders are incomprehensibly low. It's so low that it reaches the point of absurdity. The Minecraft example is similar to other thought experiments. It's analogous to the story of a monkey hitting random keys on a typewriter. Almost everything it will produce is meaningless gibberish. But given enough time, the monkey will one day type the complete works of Shakespeare. This idea exists in mathematics with the appropriately named infinite monkey theorem.
I can't be mad at this video because it's true. Like technically there is a universe where like if everything lined up, like it could happen, but the chances of it are insanely low.
This theorem states that, with infinite time, the
It's
monkey
dumb
will
but
eventually
true.
type every possible finite text with a 100% probability. This isn't just speculation, it's been mathematically proven to be the case. The The same principle applies to Minecraft, but instead of monkeys typing on a typewriter, it's random number generators selecting specific values. Most of these values will be gibberish that accomplish nothing, but not all of them. Just like the monkey writing Shakespeare, the random generators are capable of doing great things, like killing the Ender Dragon. Minecraft is a game that gives the player a unique sense of creative control. But given enough time, perhaps Minecraft itself is capable of some creativity of its own.
That's insane. You know what we need AI for? We need an AI to just generate these sequences. Someone needs to create an AI where they can generate these worlds where there's no human player and just let it play out and just generate like 1,000,000 worlds every single day until one of the worlds has a world where they kill the Ender Dragon. All right, chat, W video, not bad. It made me a little mad, but not bad.